Say something interesting.
Something interesting.
Okay. So we're doing the thing.
The thing we were supposed to do a few days ago, but someone's schedule dictated otherwise.
Dude, okay, so my work on so I worked Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Those were the days that I was supposed to work. Well, Thursday morning, so after Wednesday, I worked Wednesday night and I woke up at like fucking noon or something on Wednesday. Went to work at 6, got off at 6:30, but then had to stay over until until like 10 o'clock in the morning for this yearly they do this yearly thing where everybody has to be there and they go through and you have to like they call it a skills fair so that way you can make sure your skills are good or I don't know. I got nothing. I don't know why they do it, but it's really fucking annoying, and you have to do it every year. Well, it just so happened that they scheduled me the night before and the night of, so I was fucking exhausted. I'm still recovering from that because I worked Wednesday, did that thing Thursday morning, worked Thursday night, Friday night, and then I worked Sunday night. Well, when I got home on Saturday, I was sitting there and I went and took a shower and I sat down and I was getting dressed and I think I was putting on my socks or something like that. And then I woke up at like 5 o'clock at night. Oh. Hey, Laura.
Please be
hey,
experts.
Hey, Laura. Hey, Hateful. Hey, Boons. Glad you guys are here. Somebody's got... Oh, hey, Mole. Damn, we got fucking
up,
everybody in here today. So,
oh wow, this is fantastic.
So today's episode is brought to you in part by half put together tables. I'm putting together a table. I sat there while I was watching the Defenders and I was trying to put this table together at like 6 o'clock this morning. I think I started at 5. I finished at 8 and it's not even done yet. I am not handy at all.
Oh, and the thing, soon I'll be able to put your own furniture together for you.
Well, I'll be there to hand you beer.
Okay. That's helpful, wife.
I got nothing on that. You know
yes. This stream is sponsored by Tengags. Tengags.
No, that's the second half of the stream. That's why it's partially in part by half put together furniture.
Were you fucking the furniture?
No. I'm too tired. Monster. So.
That sounds like a plan.
Oh, no, I've got it. I had to... that's the first time in like 2 weeks that I've noticed the fucking AC, but I always notice it when we're streaming. That'll be one good thing about not living in Phoenix anymore. I won't have to worry about the AC nearly as often.
Oh, by the way, Subby here is moving.
Yes, in the next probably 3 to 5 months, I will be moving halfway across the country, actually most of the way across the country. I will be moving from Phoenix, Arizona to the Cincinnati area where Wild Tanuki lives.
Yeah, because we love each other so much.
Hey, Tyler, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, man.
So, we've got very little on the docket today. Very, very little, it feels like, in comparison to some of our more recent episodes.
No, I will say this. We have had this habit of kind of saying, oh, man, this is going to be a short episode. And then it will instantly go to, like, 2 hours later.
Yeah. Well, and, okay, so, actually, let's go back to talking about the move.
No, he's not reviving Harambe. Harambe is gone. Bless his soul.
What are you talking about? I'm fucking Jesus Christ, bitch. So
does the atheist in you cringe at that?
A little bit. So, anyways,
Lordy.
when I do move there, there will be some exciting things happening once we're there, as in live in person episodes.
Yeah. We've thought about it for a while, and we think once we figure out things and get a good video quality going, we'll do live, like actual live, like video streams.
Yeah, we will be. I mean, shit. When we were at VidCon, we were even looking at 360 cams, which I don't see a point in really doing unless we can get live guests.
Yeah.
Which we'd have to move probably to LA to do. Unless we can find some really cool people that live in Cincinnati.
We probably could, but I was thinking, we if we got people to back it, then we could, yes, all the buck sex. It's spelled SECKS.
Sects. Sect? Like a religious sect?
The butt sect?
Yes, the butt sect.
Yeah, sure, why not? All the buck sect. Yeah, total camp horse. You get to see my fucking ugly mug. Anyways, that's a major thing that's gonna happen. So obviously we're gonna have trouble putting out anything not like we already not.
God, in the studio there has to be absolutely no weapons. There can be no weapons at all.
I look to my left and my right, and I can't say anything.
I know. That's why we can't do it at your place.
I know. Trust me, I'm very well aware of why we can't do it at my place.
We will kill each other.
Also because, God, we would kill each other instantly. See, this is the thing, is like people keep saying, oh, you and Subconscious Devil, you guys have to be roommates. You guys have to be roommates in some way. It's like, no, you don't understand how we function. We're good friends, but we have to have separation.
Well, and not only that, but I mean, I'm in my 30s. I don't need a fucking roommate. Plus, I make good money, so
Yeah, I make decent money, and I like my solitude.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll probably hang out all the time. I mean, we're probably not gonna live that far from each other.
Yeah.
Seeing as it was funny because I was actually looking at apartments out there, and I found the apartments that he lives in, and I was like, those are awesome looking apartments.
And I was like, oh god, I could have walked to your place if you got that apartment here. Yeah. Like within minutes.
Yeah, actually, I've stayed friends with roommates before. After we go in as friends, we hang out as roommates, and then we separate, and it worked out okay, like twice. The other times, not so much. Not so much.
Okay, big news out of the way. Should we get to the itinerary?
I guess. So let's just do the trailers real quick. We've got like 3 or 4 trailers, 5 trailers. So there's a movie coming out sometime around Halloween called Mother with an exclamation point. So it's like Mother.
It's the less interesting version of motherfucker. And sadly, Samuel L. Jackson will not be in this film.
Oh, that was fun. He has ruined the words motherfucker for me. That's impossible to do, but he did it.
Hey, that's down the road.
God damn it.
You're getting ahead of the stream.
Sorry, I do things. Mother. So it stars
Jennifer Lawrence,
who, if anybody has an internet connection, you have seen her naked. And if you haven't, you are not living life correctly.
Or you're actually a genuinely good human being because you're not looking at the nudes of a star. But we're not good people here.
I'm not. And I was very conflicted about that, but I'm like, you know what? Who? I mean, I get why she did it because I've heard the explanation. I get it. But why the fuck would you put it on the fucking cloud?
Yeah, that's a bit sketchy, yo.
But anyways, I digress. We don't need to talk about that because that's not really an issue anymore. That was in 2014. Who cares? So, Mother. Suspense,
Yeah,
thriller, horror movie?
This is Jennifer Lawrence and Javari Bardem? Javari Bardem, who played in No Country for Old Men. Probably one of my favorite movies of all fucking time.
Never seen it.
Oh, dude, it's it's so good. It's so fucking good. Why haven't you seen it yet?
Okay, you know what? When it gets 23 years later, then you can say something.
Fair enough. I deserve that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, okay. I deserve that pot shot. Yeah, Laura, he was so evil in that film, but was so good. Anyways, so this is coming out as a psychological thriller, and this is actually directed by the same person who did Requiem of a Dream. I'm not familiar with that film, but I am actually familiar with The Fighter, and he also directed that.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've never seen Requiem for a Dream. I can barely pronounce that correctly. But I have seen The Fighter, which is much easier to pronounce.
Yeah, and he also directed
Laura, can I ban Laura?
What for?
Read.
I've never seen. Oh no, you can't ban Laura.
God damn it, Laura! Go watch the Shawshank Redemption. Seriously, it's well worth it.
It's good, and you get to stop Subby from bitching.
Seriously,
it's a win-win.
It really is. Even for me, it's a win for me too. So,
but yeah, the director also directed Black Swan, which I'm sure many people are familiar with. No, you can't ban her for that. No.
I'm not saying anything. Me and Laura are no longer talking.
You're not on talking terms anymore?
No. Okay, I'm over it. We can move on now.
Anyway, so what this film seems to be is a psychological horror film where this woman, Jennifer Lawrence character, is out in the countryside with her husband, Javari Bardem, which I'm probably slaughtering that name. Anyways, as her husband. And for some reason, he allows guests into their country home, and she doesn't know why. Now, my assumption is that they're cult members, and her husband's actually the devil, and the reason it's called Mother is because she's going to be the mother of the Antichrist.
Oh, interesting. See, I didn't even think about that. See, and the only thing that my brain went to was, is this like a horror version of Being John Malkovich?
Oh, that would actually be fairly interesting.
Yeah,
I'd actually watch that movie.
Yeah, I like Being John Malkovich. It was a good movie.
It was odd, but it wasn't like bad by any means.
I mean,
it was just kind of different.
I've only seen it once, so meh.
That's not saying much.
Well, I mean, at least I finished it. I mean, you want to know what I did not finish though? The anime for Death Note. But
we're not getting to that yet.
Oh, we're not moving on. I was moving on.
No, we're not moving on yet.
You just ruined my segue. It was a good segue too.
I ruined your segue. I cast a magic Celtic spell and ruined it. No, but I think this film actually has a lot of potential. Like, you didn't even see any imagery in there that you found interesting.
Oh no, it looked amazing. But I'm still gonna burn you alive.
Oh, that's fine. You can do that later.
Okay.
No, I just like I'm trying to get some other ideas because like I know what I saw from that imagery, but what do you predict this film going into?
I don't know. That's a pretty interesting take on it. I didn't even think about it like that. It almost. Wait, what? Are you butchering the name that badly? Look at what Hateful just wrote.
I'm going off what I'm seeing. It's spelled JAVIERBARDEM.
Javier.
Javier. Gar- his name's foreign, so I'm mispronouncing it.
You don't know how to pronounce Javier?
I don't know what region he's originally from.
Anyways.
Oh, it's Spanish. Okay, yeah, that's why I'm slaughtering it. I didn't realize that it's pronounced as an H. Javier Bardem.
So it's funny because you butchered it, and then and then Hateful gets from Javier Bardem to
Xavier Garden.
Yeah, Xavier Garden.
Oh my god.
Oh god, you gotta love phones. That's why half my tweets are all fucked.
Mine are all fucked because I don't proofread any of my shit.
So, anyways, one of the really interesting parts that I saw, he invites the man to stay, and then his wife, and then more people keep showing up, and then you see the house go rotted, and then all these people are like just running in from the field.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I thought the cult aspect.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I didn't think about that.
The reason I thought the devil aspect is because at one point in one of the frames, the picture of Javier, pronouncing it right now, fuckers, yeah. It had his picture that was like burnt through with devil horns on it.
See, I didn't catch that. I must have missed that part.
So I was just kind of like thinking, you know what? Maybe this is its mother because it's kind of the same thing as like Rosemary's Baby almost.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
And yes, I'm well aware of your lack of understanding on Death Note, so let's go to that now.
Now that my segue has been ruined, motherfucker.
So actually, as somebody who has no like understanding of Death Note,
I actually do. I know the basic premise of it, and I have watched part of it. I just never finished it. I'm not very intimately well versed with the characters or anything like that.
Okay, so you didn't get to the part where he fights the people after L's death and all that.
Nope.
Oh yeah, that's way down the line though, so it's fine.
So basically, what you're telling me is I need to go through and fucking try and watch that before Friday.
No, not by any means. If you don't want to, that's fine, because we're talking more about Death Note. We don't have to talk about the source material at all.
Well, I mean, honestly, it was one of the more interesting animes that I had.
Yeah, the psychological thrillers are way more interesting than a lot of the other ones, a la Code Geass and things like that. And Psychopath is actually a good one too. But anyways, I digress. As far as the Death Note trailer goes, I'm actually fascinated because people keep saying this cast was terrible. One of the best parts about it that I thought was Willem Dafoe as the Raikou.
Demon, as the demon guy.
Raikou. I always had trouble pronouncing like Japanese character names.
Riku?
Riku, that's it. Anyways, so I find like his voice matches up perfectly with the aesthetic of Riku.
Yeah, well, and even the costuming looks pretty good for it. You only catch a glimpse of it, but it looks really good.
Well, I've not seen a full body shot of it, but I have seen the glimpses of like the face and whatnot and the back of it, and it looks really good. And he's like one of my favorite characters in anime. Because in this entire story, he's not invested. He doesn't give a fuck.
All right.
Night, Laura.
Bye, Laura. Have a good night. What do you mean he's not invested? Like, it's just a thing that he does because it's part of his job or something.
No, it's not even a part of his job. He just basically what he does is he's bored. He's extremely fucking bored with the Shikigami Death God world, and he thought it'd be entertaining to drop his Death Note, a book that, if you're not familiar with the series, it's a book that if you write a person's name on it, they will die in 60 seconds of a heart attack. If you don't write any other way, they die in it. But basically, if you write like a complex way they die, they will die in that way.
Interesting.
Now, he does that and he drops in there, and the thing is, he doesn't care about like who lives or dies. He doesn't give a shit if Light wins or loses his battle. All he cares about is being entertained.
Interesting.
So this whole story, he has no like personal investment. This is basically him like doing one thing, like tossing a coin in the pond just to watch the ripples.
That is very interesting, actually.
And that's really why he's one of my favorite characters, because you get to see this outside perspective of like, I'm bored as fuck. I'm gonna let this guy have this book that can kill people and watch him mass murder hundreds of thousands of people.
Hmm. So, okay, now here's my question. Could he, if he wanted to, just say, you know what, I want to kill the entire city of London or something?
Okay, I'm not that familiar with Death Note to see. I've not watched it personally all the way through in the anime, but I've read a lot of it through the manga.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you can do mass killings like that.
But you can kill dozens of people right in a row.
Yeah. As long as you have names.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fascinating the routes they go with it. And then there's this other story that's actually there's a new live action. Wait, would have to write all their names. Okay, so you'd have to envision all their faces and write down all their names for it to work. Okay, see. But there's this other movie that's coming out from Japan. It's like there are faction wars for the Death Note. And they have the L faction and the Kira faction.
I don't know what that means.
It would mean like it's two rival gangs that are battling for Death Notes.
Oh, okay. Oh, to get them?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I find it... I think that would be very interesting. It's like, oh, it's these two gangs and they have to think up new ways to kill each other outside the Death Note so they can survive. And they had to like... Obviously, they had to live by aliases. Otherwise, people would go, oh, then they'll just capture one of their gang members, bring them back to the headquarters, and torture them for their information.
Yeah.
So I would think that everybody would go by aliases at that point.
You know, every time like something like this pops up, something really cool from Japan pops up, I sit there and go, you know, I should really watch Battle Royale again.
Oh, Battle Royale is like one of my favorite films.
It's been so long since I've seen it. It's such a good movie.
Yeah, Crips and Bloods Weeb edition. Hateful. Thanks for that.
So which one are you, Weeb? Okay, moving on.
So in the same vein as say like what do you say, like Shooter and American Sniper, American Assassin.
You know, this honestly feels more like Atomic Blonde to me.
I don't think it's as neon though.
Well, the reason I say that is it's like the basic premise of it is this guy wants to be trained to be an assassin to go through and kill terrorists. Well, I'm assuming partway through the film, one of the previous guys who had been captured and tortured is going through trying to kill everybody on his side.
Okay. As far as the Atomic Blonde goes, that ends up with that triple cross at the end.
Yeah, that was really good actually.
Yeah, that I honestly did not see that coming.
No, neither did I. You
Which was
think you see
actually
that
really
twist, and then boom, another twist, and then just fucked. Cocksucker.
Anyways, but yeah, I like the aspect of
But
the
yeah,
guy who goes, huh?
oh, I was gonna say yeah, kind of shooter-esque, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I like anything where it plays on military training, but they do it outside the military almost. And this seems
Yeah.
very Black Ops-esque.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So seeing the guy who's like on his own, learn how to fire guns, use them, and very well gets very well trained within the realm of firearms, then goes out and takes care of a terrorist cell on his own, and then gets recruited by the military. I think that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I'm in the middle of tweeting this out again.
Fair enough. But yeah, it's a whole lot of aspects that I really enjoy. And I don't get me wrong, I like military films, but at the same time, I like films where it's not always about protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Where people use their training for a personal reason.
Yeah.
So that's why Bobby Lee Swagger really is.
You know, I still haven't finished that series yet.
Oh, Shooter.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's a really solid show.
I've come up with 16 other things to watch. And I think I fell asleep during one of the episodes, and I can't be fucked to remember where I was.
I hate doing that. I try to remember the last
thing that you see.
Yeah.
That's the best I do. I'll usually try and pause it, but I fuck it up all the time, so. I got lucky because The Defenders was really loud and it was keeping me awake, so. Anyways, American Assassin. I mean, it looks really good. It looks like it's going to be just like a fun.
Actually, in a way, it almost looks like the very beginning of what Jason Bourne would have been. It's like they bring him in and he gets trained and almost indoctrinated in a way.
You know, it's really funny that you bring that up because as soon as you said that, I was like, okay. And then I remember all the things wrong with the films, and then I remember all the things wrong with the fourth book. Holy shit, I fucking hate that series. But I love that series at the same time. It's so fucked up.
Sort of like how you feel about Dark Tower.
No, I love the book series. The movie can go fuck itself. Fuck that movie.
Hey, admittedly, the final gunfight was interesting.
The action was great. It's everything else that pissed me off. It can go fuck itself.
And that's why I still say it's a decent action sci-fi film.
Yeah, but the rest of it can go fuck itself.
Where's Artie when I need him to psychoanalyze you? Anyways. Yeah, American Assassin looks fascinating, and I like the aspect of... I can't believe I... Huh?
The espionage and the
espionage
Ops.
And I can't remember his name. Who's the guy who's training him?
Oh fuck, I don't remember.
It's just his name's not clicking with me right now.
Look it up. Your keyboard's not as loud as mine. Mine is better though. I had to go buy a new keyboard because I was playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And got really pissed off a few times and punched my keyboard like 3 or 4 times throughout the past couple weeks. And I broke a perfectly good $120 keyboard and had to go buy a $200 keyboard because I'm a genius.
Okay, it's Michael Keaton, who I thought that's what it was. I just want to confirm it.
Yeah. You should have said it.
Then Ed Harris. Ed Harris is in this, and he's not in the starring credits.
I don't know who that is. Wait, who's Ed Harris?
What?
Who is Ed Harris, fucker?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Um, I'm trying to skim through films that you know from, but the only one that's
Anyways.
coming to mind is Sweetwater.
Nope, got nothing. Okay, moving on. Speaking of moving on, next trailer. Boom. The Snowman.
Actually, I'm really excited for this one.
You know, it feels like the first season of Dexter, just not as good.
How so?
Because he cuts them up and displays their body parts and things like that.
And that's the only aspect of this film that correlates.
They're serial killers. What the fuck else do you need? There's not a whole lot to go on. It's a trailer.
Yeah, I know, but I just I like these styles of films where it's thrillers, but they're not like not in the same vein as say like Shutter Island, which that was a thriller. It ends up being a thriller, but you don't realize the fact that spoiler alert, uh, Leonardo DiCaprio is actually one of the people in the insane asylum.
And
I hate movies where it's like, oh, there's this monster that's in the movie and it's gonna get you, and it's like, oh, it's actually all inside your own mind.
huh. Yeah, yeah.
Those movies always fucking bother me because it's like I'm expecting this nice, awesome monster movie, and oh, it's just a psychological thriller.
Yeah. I mean, they really did play that well with Shutter Island, though. So.
Yeah, no, still to this day, the best part of that fucking movie was fucking Leonardo DiCaprio's fucking lobotomy at the end.
Is that because you don't
Fuck
like
that
Leonardo?
guy.
Yeah. Okay.
No, not that I hate Leonardo DiCaprio. He's a great actor in some things. It's just I fucking got so pissed off because I was expecting like, oh, it's gonna turn to this like crazy like ghost thing or supernatural thing, and then by the end of it, it's like, oh no, it's all in his head, and he's actually a member of the asylum, and he doesn't realize it. And they were playing out his fantasies to
Try and
help
break
him
him.
try to
Yeah.
cope with it. And then it's just like, this is not the film that I wanted. So fuck you. Fuck you.
Okay, so back to the Snowman. I don't know. I mean, it looks. Wait. Okay. Here we go. A better analogy for you. The fucking Zodiac killer,
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
like that.
Where
That
it's
movie.
like he's leaving clues and whatnot.
Yeah.
I guess it's
Yeah.
just the fact that I like that aspect where it's cops versus serial killers.
You know, it's funny when I was in college, I did a lot of research on serial killers. It was a really fascinating subject, and I do like that kind of stuff. So you would think that I'd be a lot more
Interested?
interested in this. Like I'm honestly more interested to see the next Saw movie.
No shit, huh?
Yeah, that I'm honestly out of the three movies that we're talking about today, I am more interested to see Saw than any of them.
Hmm. I'm interested to see where they go with it.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know how they're gonna tie it all in. I mean, it's a
But obviously they will with somehow with all that fucking bullshit.
yeah,
Because let's be honest, Saul has a lot of stuff that's just like, okay, you'd have to be like an omnipotent god to know where that path was going to lead.
yeah. Oh God, yeah, I know.
It's like, you swallowed a tape right before your death, and then they found it miraculously, and now they're going to play it, and that leads to this next set of killings. Come
Yeah.
on now. Come
Yeah.
on.
I mean, they were fun movies for me. I liked them.
No.
For the most
Don't get me
part.
wrong. They were fun for me, but at the same time, I can enjoy the fact of how bad they were.
Yeah, yeah. I like the movies just in general because I like the entire premise of it, and that's why I even like the Hostel series, except for the first one. The first one was like the first 45 minutes of the first one was just garbage.
No, I never watched them.
Don't save yourself the time, but the premise is really good.
Okay.
Uh,
Anyways,
Your turn for
So,
a segue.
oh,
Unless you like to continue talking about the
well,
Snowman trailer.
well, I mean, with a serial killer that's doing bad things, he obviously needs to be punished for his actions. So that's what we'll talk about the Punisher next.
Wow, that was a bad one. I like it.
The bad ones are the best ones. But seriously, the new Punisher trailer's out, and I'm actually really excited for this. I really love the Punisher as a character as far as comic books go.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite characters
And
as far as
in the
comes for him. Because God knows I have not read a single comic book, and by God I mean hateful.
You should probably change that at some point.
I know.
Wait, whoa! Didn't you watch The Walking Dead?
Well, yeah, no, I mean as far as these, I've read the Walking Dead comics up through December, and then I have read almost all of the Crossed series that's out.
Cross series.
Yeah, it's basically a post-apocalyptic thing where people get infected with the virus and it makes this cross on their face, but then it gets rid of all their inhibitions and all they want to do is fuck and kill. And by fuck, I mean
I have to go answer the door, so I'll be back in a second.
Okay, well, you fuckers are stuck with me. I'm drinking a Monster. No, I don't know. The Cross series is pretty interesting. There's a few... there's a few bad storylines in it. But I do want to get into reading some more of the comics. It's so hard to figure out where to start, which is why I do need to talk to Hateful one of these days about where to start with different characters and things like that. So that way I can start reading things like The Punisher and the X-Men comics, things like that. Because I know that he knows where to go, where to start, what storylines are good, where to.
Now, what were we saying?
I was just talking about comics and
Oh,
how I need to talk to Hateful about where to start with certain comics and stuff like that, because I know that he knows.
Yeah, same. But I actually really enjoy the actor who plays the Punisher.
He will always be Shane to me.
In a way, he will, but for me, this is his redemption role.
He's had a few other good roles actually before this, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so I really enjoy him.
So, basically, what happens in this trailer is it just shows him using a sledgehammer hitting the ground, and then there's a few clips of action here and there, and the action, just from what you can see, I mean, it's literally just 2-second snippets of action, but it looks okay. Honestly, it doesn't remind me of Iron Fist, where it looks like the guy barely knows how to throw a punch. So that makes me feel good about this.
Yeah. In all fairness, the Iron Fist stuff was kind of rushed.
Yeah. Well, and then at the very end, he's sitting there, and it shows like a panned up version of what he's smashing, and it's actually the Punisher logo. It looks. I don't know. I'm pretty excited. It shows lots of blood and stuff like that, which is what Punisher's known for. I don't know. Did you ever watch the second Punisher movie?
Yes, I did. It was
horrible. That's the word we're looking for. We were looking for horrible because it was bad. The first one was really good. Not as much gore as I would like, but it was supposed to be a blockbuster movie, and it just didn't go very well for him.
Yeah, it was sad. It was very, very sad. Though I will say for this, its connection with Iron Fist and Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, I'm fascinated to where this universe is going to go after Defenders.
That's actually something we're going to talk about after we talk about this next subject. Oh, did you want to say anything about the Punisher before we move on?
Oh, I'm I was thinking kind of him slamming the Dolph Lundgren one. Which one was Dolph Lundgren? I can't remember. I think it might have been 2. Or was that the one that was before the one that occurred in the 2000s?
Punisher Warzone was... No, we're talking about Punisher Warzone.
Yeah, this was a much later one. You can't watch everything Hateful. Well, I mean, you can, but you can't always remember what goes where.
I didn't even know they made one.
Jesus Christ.
I know, I just said that out loud. Hateful's gonna fucking kill me.
Dude, he's gonna murder you in your sleep.
But anyways, so what did you want to say about the Punisher?
It's actually as though you always see him as Shane repeatedly. I think that's a very interesting character. Like, he's playing it well. I mean, that fucking hallway scene in the during Daredevil season 2 in the prison, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, I agree. I actually, it was funny because I was sitting there watching the Defenders. I'm like, oh god, I gotta go through and rewatch them all because there's some things that I just don't remember because I watched them literally all back to back to back to back. That, and I started out in the wrong order. I started out with Luke Cage.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
You started like 3 seasons in from different series.
I know. I went back and watched, so I watched Luke Cage, then I went back and watched both seasons of Daredevil, then I went and watched Iron Fist, and then I went and watched Jessica Jones.
Jesus Christ!
I fucked it all up. That entire thing was all just
I will say probably out of all those, I really enjoyed Jessica Jones.
You know, it's funny because I was thinking about that earlier too, and that's probably my favorite one too. Yeah. I mean, but I think that's because her villain was very...
They're never going to recapture that tension.
Yeah, she had the perfect villain. You know what I mean?
I mean, that harkens back to like, oh, the mental strain she went through and all that, and then it's like overcoming those problems to become a survivor instead of a victim.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
And then, so, seeing as we're already talking about it, you know, talking about all the characters, let's talk about the Defenders. I'm halfway through the second to last episode. I know you're finished with it, right?
Yeah.
So, what is your take on the series?
See, my problem is that even though a lot of the action kind of is meh, it burns out a lot, I love every single like Marvel Netflix show.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this enjoyment whenever I watch her. It's just like, oh, it's so good, in my opinion. And watching the stories unfold, and it's like these heroes come together and finally like fight together as one. It's just this beautiful thing that I've been waiting to see for a while. And I think that Avengers kind of flubbed it a little by having so many heroes at once, because then the stories get cluttered. But I think Defenders with 4 people, I think that's just enough that you can do a good series with.
Yeah.
Hey Rob, we were reviewing trailers earlier. Now we're talking about the Defenders.
Yep. So, here's my personal take on the Defenders from so far. The first 3 episodes drag on forever. For fucking ever. It takes so long to get to any of the really good stuff that I almost wanted to give up.
Now, I will say this. They do drag the whole thing. It's like, the hand? That's fucking stupid. Yeah, Defenders episode 7 and 8 were pretty fucking good.
I'm in the middle of episode 7 right now, so...
No that's as far as you're getting. We're not going to talk about the end-all, be-all, sadly.
What do you mean? What do you mean about the hand?
Well, the whole problem they have throughout the entire series is like, okay, Daredevil knows about the hand, fucking Iron
Yeah,
Fist knows about the hand, but it's like you talk to fucking Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, like, oh, there's a shadow organization. It's like, that's fucking dumb. I don't think that's real. I think you're fucking crazy. Meanwhile, this is within the same reality as the Battle for New York and all the alien shit went down
oh
and
yeah.
Tony Stark and the Hulk and all that. It's like at that point, where do you just draw the line? Where it's like, oh, I believe in a gamma monster, but I don't believe that this shadow organization exists or magic exists. It's just like at some point you just gotta get, you know what, fuck it.
Well, like there's that entire discussion between Danny Rand and Luke Cage, where Danny's trying to explain the Iron Fist to Luke Cage, and he's like, that's ridiculous. That's not real, dude.
And even though he was here with the goddamn thing.
Well, and not only that, but you have impenetrable skin from a weird science experiment.
You fucked a girl with enhanced strength and durability.
Yeah.
You've watched fucking Thor fight in Manhattan.
I mean, seriously.
What do you fucking want?
What's so difficult to understand that, hey, maybe there's things I don't understand. Oh god, I just did Carlos Mencia.
I'm ashamed.
I'm ashamed. I honestly feel like I should just go cut my wrists.
Yeah, you should go do that. I'll find a new co-host.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the first time I've said that. That feels pretty good. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good feeling.
Hateful can be your co-host. He knows more about comics than either of us combined.
Yeah. Anyways. But yeah, it's just unreasonable them constantly going back to this thing where every time they bring on somebody new, it's just like, oh, shadow organization of these people who is like, listen, I believe it. This person believes it. The fucking Rosario Dawson's character, she encountered them at the hospital in Daredevil 2, where they attacked her. She could have easily gone, look, I vouch for them. It sounds crazy, but he's right.
Well, and then she also went with them to China.
Exactly. That's why I'm losing my mind about this thing, where it's just like, why do you keep denying when everybody around you has facts, information retained to it, has personal experience dealing with them? Why?
Well, okay.
Why?
Yeah. Oh, God, the entire fucking thing. So, there's been a little bit of controversy, especially in the circles that, yes, we actually just talked about it.
We passed that about, what,
half hour
20
ago?
minutes ago?
20 minutes, half hour ago, yeah.
Yeah. Long, short, I'm interested in seeing it, but I'm not going to hold high expectations.
I can hold all the expectations I want.
Yeah, well, you weave your little basket, you put all your expectations in there, all you want.
I'm not sure what to say to that. I'm really not sure what to say to that.
Defenders,
okay. So, so the controversy, especially in the circles that we fall in, as far as the entire white privilege discussion, me and Tanuki talked about this a little bit, and it kind of starts out and it seems like that's what it's about, but he's not talking about white privilege. He's talking about the privilege of being, the owner of a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
The privilege of owning money.
But the one thing that did piss me off is he's like, you feel like you earned the Iron Fist. He did. It's not he feels like, he actually did earn the Iron Fist.
He went in and he fought Kung Lao the Undying. And he went up there and has the scar on his chest to prove it. That's not a tattoo. That's a scar that he got from blocking his power. That's a thing that happened that he earned, that he worked at for years to train his kung fu.
Yeah, so that entire bit kind of pissed me off. But for the most part, I mean, it's about him being a rich guy and all this stuff. And
which is reasonable.
Yeah, it is completely reasonable. And it's and it forces him to go about his battle in a different way. It didn't work out, but at
No,
least he tried.
yeah, it builds character. That's what character development's all about.
Yeah, which, I mean, to be completely honest, the Iron Fist series did not really build his character very well.
Yeah, it really didn't, because it was just constantly him going, "I'm the Iron Fist. I'm unbeatable," and then he gets shook because he lost due to a technicality,
Yeah.
and then he lost
Well,
his
no,
mind over that.
he lost because they cheated.
Yeah,
I mean, they're the fucking Hand. What do you expect?
exactly. You shouldn't expect them to fight fair to begin with.
Well, and then there was the entire thing where, oh, this part of the Hand is just Splinter Group and blah blah blah.
It's like, no, it's all Hand.
Yeah.
All bad all the time.
Yeah. And you know, his little girlfriend's character, not very convincing to me, honestly.
Yeah, because it just seems like she kind of meanders along at times.
Yeah. I mean, she wasn't even that compelling in the Iron Fist series.
I liked her in the Iron Fist series. I like the character, and I see the potential for it. But at the same time, they're not doing anything with it.
Yeah, she's just there. Oh, she has a sword and she does the thing, but she never kills anybody. I'm sorry. Sometimes bad people die. I'm a very big advocate for superheroes. Occasionally, they have to kill people.
The Joker argument.
Yep. Well, I mean, fuck. The Joker killed tons of people around the time when he was first introduced. I mean, see, he still does now.
Well, that was also around the time where Batman actually used guns, so.
Yeah, well, and Batman killed fucking everybody.
Death in spades.
I mean, I'm sorry. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Sometimes it's a legitimate strategy. And I've had people go, well, but you want them to be the best of you. No, I'm sorry. I want them to protect the fucking city.
No. The whole thing, best of humanity bit, that's okay. I'm fine with that as a character preference. But I prefer broken characters.
Well, yeah, that's why.
That's why one of my favorite characters of all time is the Hitman series from DC. Because he's a fucked up character. He's got fucking problems. He's screwed up. He's a hitman who has the ability of X-ray vision and telekinesis. Well, telepathy, but he uses it to kill people.
Well, and then there's the Punisher. There's Deadpool. Those are my favorite type of characters because they do what needs to be done. And the thing is I think that more superheroes should be willing to kill because it's not about. I mean, I'm sorry, you have fucking superpowers or you're fucking super rich or whatever the case is, whatever makes you a superhero. I'm doing air quotes. You can't see it, but I'm doing them. That's you're there to protect the city, and yes, I understand. With great power comes great responsibility. Well, the great responsibility shouldn't be don't ever kill anybody ever. It should be only kill people who leave you absolutely no choice.
I like to see it as the Boondock Saints approach, where it's like, okay, somebody has to do the dirty work. It's okay, you have these people that are like symbols of hope and prosperity, but then there's somebody in the background who's like the worst of the worst. And it's like, okay, they're not doing any help to humanity. There's nothing that they're doing to contribute. They have to die.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, because you can put those people in jail. It's if they leave you absolutely no choice. If you don't do this, I will kill said person, or they will not stop until one of you two is dead.
If it goes like, if it's between me and this other person, it's like I pull the trigger. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we'll put it this way: if you're put in the situation that Batman and Dark Knight. In the Dark Knight movie was, where the Joker is either going to make one of the two boats blow the other one up, or he's going to blow up both. I'm sorry, kill the Joker, so that way, even let's say neither of them blow each other up, you can save both of them, but even if, fearing for their lives, they do press the button, you still save the other boat.
And not only that, you stop the Joker from ever hurting another person ever again.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, wasn't the Dark Knight, the third one, I forgot what the name of it was, but wasn't it supposed to be with the Joker and Harley Quinn originally until Heath Ledger died?
Yeah, I think there was a small bit where it's supposed to be the Dark Knight Rises was going to be like the Joker comes back and he has like an army of sorts, but then they had to switch that over to Bane.
Yeah. Which, honestly, I did like the movie. I liked all three of the movies. I didn't like the first one as much, but I liked the second and third ones a lot more.
Oh, the second one's fantastic. Oh.
Yeah, well, Heath Ledger makes that movie, and unfortunately, I mean, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, you're just saying that because he died." No, honestly, he did make that movie.
Yeah, that's not even his last movie.
No, it's not. He was halfway through another one and he died, and then
the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Yeah.
Because I like owning obscure movies.
Yeah, and surprisingly, that is an obscure movie. I mean, they did a really good job after he died of having.
Dude, it's so good. Like the whole thing with the character changing actors is fantastic because it's supposed to be like different parts of the personality.
Batman is a drain on the economy.
That's actually an interesting outlook on that.
Well, here's the thing. Think about this. Every time he picks up, some petty criminal, things like that, they're having to go through and they're having to go through and recreate the evidence trail that would get them to the point where they could get a conviction. So instead of doing the work on the front end, they have to do it on the back end with nothing else to go on other than, hey, random bad guy. You know what I mean?
I think it'd be a part of the Batman character that leaves like all the information he's gathered on the suspect at hand goes with it.
Well, I mean, but he does do muggings and things like that occasionally too.
No, that's true.
So it's not like he's researching every single person he's ever taken down.
Then again, there are episodes of Batman. Well, there's parts of Batman where he just shows up at a crime scene and talks to the police officers.
Yeah.
Like he's a private detective.
Yeah, basically.
He's just a private detective who's also a vigilante.
The funny thing is the original Batman started out in Detective Comics.
Yeah, I know.
So, you remember how we were like, this is going to be a short episode? We're already like an hour in, I think.
No, I didn't say this is going to be a short episode. You said this is going to be a short episode, and I said, hey, remember how every time we say this is going to be a short episode, it always drags on?
Yeah. So,
well, yeah, I guess muggings always do have a witness of the person who was mugged. That's fair.
That's true. But eyewitness accounts are usually not considered valid evidence in court.
That's actually also true.
Well, anymore. That's been a kind of a recent development in the past 10 years, I think.
Also, speaking of new developments, you want to talk about the whole new streaming services with Disney?
Yeah. So the basic idea of what's going on is Disney is going to make their own streaming service, kind of like a Netflix.
And they are most likely going to fail.
Well, of course. I mean, but then you have the kids and stuff like that, so it makes sense. But
the wee youngins.
It almost reminds me of the CBS All Access thing.
Oh god, or like CW Seed.
I don't even know what that is.
It's CW has this whole thing where that's where they post all their videos for the web episodes of Vixen and all the stuff on CW. Can you rewatch online for free?
Oh, okay. Well, but this is going to be a paid service.
Yeah, of course.
So, here's the thing. Who in their right mind as an adult that wants to watch the the Marvel series or the or anything from
Star
LucasArts. Yeah,
Wars,
Star
yeah.
Wars mostly. Who's gonna pay for a Disney subscription just for those? Nobody.
I would be better off paying like 20 some bucks for a DVD or a Blu-ray
Yeah, because
and
then
then
you have
not
to
deal
pay
with
for
that.
a once. Yeah, you pay for a one time. Um, so I don't think that this is going to go well, but they are in talks. Disney's still in talks uh, with Netflix to keep the Marvel and the LucasArts stuff on Netflix. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
it really is, Rob, going to be people with kids. That's the long short.
yeah,
The
that's the only way.
thing the thing I'm thinking is, you know, they will probably end up breaking at some point, probably like about a year in, and they'll go, you know what? It's just easier to work through Netflix instead of trying to have this whole other service involved and all this other crap. So fuck it, we'll just keep it on Netflix. That way we pay a small sum to have all of our shit outsourced. Just
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what the BBC realized too. I'm not sure if they're still planning it, but I haven't heard anything about it in a long time. They took all their Doctor Who and everything off Netflix and all
Yeah, yeah.
because they were planning on doing their own thing, and I think they've scrapped that idea, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm sure that Doctor Who will probably return to Netflix eventually.
Well, I mean, for me, it's really easy. It's on my Amazon Video, so
Yeah, yeah. And then I have a multitude of other services I could go through.
yeah. Um, so I mean, I don't think that the Disney thing will do very well as far as a streaming service because, like Rob said, only people with kids are going to get that.
Yeah, that's gonna be the long short.
And so, guys like you and I who do not have children,
And don't really give a shit about like some of the
yeah,
other Disney films.
yeah, like they're planning on putting like the Frozen 2 movie on there, and nobody cares. So, speaking of Amazon and things that things that are on there and all that, what have you been watching lately? Because I know that I've been watching a lot of stuff lately.
Oh, good lord, I've been trying to like sort through different things to watch. I I've been watching anime that people have been. Oh, Carl, you didn't show up at the end. Fucking finally.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking close though.
Yeah, well, at least it's not like right when we're about to say bye.
That's true.
But I've been, of course, I've been watching anime and a bunch of other stuff. But
Seriously, you keep saying you're not a weeb.
I'm not a weeb. I just don't obsess over stuff.
Okay, anyways.
Obsession equals weeb. But I've been watching like, what was it? Dagashi, Kashi, and different things. And I try to find some stuff that's out there. Yeah, I'm total weeb. Total weeb there, Carl.
Anyways.
But I've been looking at this one movie on Netflix called Naked. And the entire premise of Naked is it's one of the Wayans brothers. And he's naked in an elevator right like hours before his wedding. And he goes through and he goes through the day and tries to get to the wedding, tries to get there on time. But the thing is, oh, thank you, Rob. I appreciate that deeply. Anyways, so he goes through and he keeps trying to get to his wedding, but it has the Groundhog Day effect, where at one point he travels back to the point where he's naked in the elevator. And it seems interesting, but at the same time, it's just kind of like that's kind of a dumb premise.
I've given up on the Wayans brothers altogether. They don't make anything that interests me at all.
Yeah, the Wayans brothers have kind of gone downhill.
I mean, didn't they do like the scary movies and White Chicks and
Yeah.
White Chicks was a garbage movie. It had no plot to it really. It was stupid.
Then there's another series. There's another movie, well, documentary that I want to watch called "The Truth About Alcohol." It's a doctor who goes through and learns the truth about both the benefits and the risks of alcohol. I'm kind of curious about watching that for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because you love the booze. Oh, would you like to talk about your sponsored beer for today?
oh,
By sponsored, I mean not sponsored at all, but they should be. They should
they
sponsor
really
us.
they should totally sponsor us. The current beer of the day is Buzz from Braxton Brewing. This is the official beer of the Bunbury Music Festival. That's a music festival that always happens in Cincinnati, right along the riverside. And I would love to go to that sometime if they actually had bands I want to listen to. But I'm too busy going like an hour south to listen to metal bands.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's Kolsch style ale with honey and peaches.
Is it good?
Oh, it's really good. If it wasn't raining and whatnot, this would be great for like being outside by like say a lake or river fishing, just shooting the shit and whatnot. Oh, it's so fucking good.
So, anything else you're looking forward to watching?
I actually there's a slew of DVDs that I bought
Oh
that I've not
Jesus!
watched yet.
You went to like the $2 bin, didn't you?
Yes, yes, I did.
Okay, what'd you pick up?
I picked up Yakuza Hunter. I picked up Gene Generation. I, oh God, all the bad movies. Actually, there's one set of movies that I picked up that I hadn't. I've seen the first movie of it, but I have not seen the rest of them. I bought the Feast Complete Collection.
I don't even know
Have you
what
ever
that
watched
is.
Feast?
I have no idea what that is at all.
Oh my God, it's so terribly good.
So, in other words, I'm probably not gonna like it.
Probably.
Okay, so I've been watching. Okay, I know you haven't seen it, but you really, really need to see the Defiant Ones. It is so good. The Defiant Ones. It's that documentary I was telling you about. It's a documentary series about Dr. Dre and uh, his producer friend. It's a really good. It's really good. It it basically goes over from when Dr. Dre was a kid, and his producer friend is actually the record exec who bought Death Row Records
Hmm.
for Interscope back in the '90s. And so they were the ones that signed um, Snoop Dogg and Tupac and um uh, Eminem, 50 Cent, and then it also goes into like that other guy. I forgot his fucking name, Jimmy something, I think. Goes back and talks about when he. You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm good. Hey Annie, how you doing?
Hey Annie. Uh, it talks about
You should be asleep, Annie. It's probably like 2 a.m. there.
uh, so it talks about him doing like stuff with he helped do Stevie Nicks' first album, her first solo album.
No shit.
He did Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and then he went on and did U2, and he went on to signed Nine Inch Nails to Interscope, and then through Interscope or through Trent Reznor's personal label that he got from Interscope. That's how they signed Marilyn Manson.
Damn.
And it goes through and it talks about all that, and then it goes all the way up through their through Beats being sold to Apple for $3.2 billion.
And then that just becomes a ripoff because Beats are worthless.
Well, so it's also about the Apple music streaming service that they have. That's part of the reason that they did the deal.
Okay, that's fine and dandy, but Beats headphones are still worthless.
Oh well. So, what else have I been watching? I obviously am watching The Defenders, but I went through and started rewatching Westworld.
Wait, did you finish Band of Brothers again?
Like a month ago.
Well, okay, I actually something I watched recently was Dunkirk.
Was that good?
Yeah, oh dude, it was so fucking good.
I gotta go through and watch that.
Oh man, it was. I'm not really a war movie guy, but that was a good fucking film.
Yeah. Did you watch Hacksaw Ridge?
No, I've never watched it.
Hacksaw Ridge. It's on the Amazon. On my Amazon. You have my password.
Yeah.
Go through and watch it. It's on that's on the.
I mean, I totally don't have his passwords, so we're not doing this illegal thing that we shouldn't be doing.
Whatever. These people are not going to tell on us they love us. They adore us. We're like their gods, or their friends or something. Whatever.
We're nice to them and they're nice back.
Not only that, but I have dirt on all of you.
Anyways.
So, let's talk about what I watched today, and I'm assuming you watched on Friday.
Yes, you'd be right.
So, we went and saw Hitman's Bodyguard.
And before you say anything, I want to say, did you get the feel that this was like Harold and Kumar meets The Whole Nine Yards?
Not really. I didn't really get the whole 9 yards bit. What I got
that was like the killer thing from the mafia and whatnot. And
you want? Well, okay, wait. Actually, here we go. The Whole 9 Yards meets what Rush Hour.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, you're shaking angrily from the man part of Hitman. Hit person, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
All right, Annie. Have a good night.
No,
Oh, did you answer her question about the porn chat thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, how did you feel about the movie overall?
I actually really enjoyed it. It was just kind of a fun movie. Not amazing by any means. It's just one of those classical, like, oh, it's a nice popcorn flick. And if you just want to watch it with your friends, just to have something in the background, that's good. And then...
Okay, so...
Hit Ken.
So, I laughed pretty much through through most of the movie. There was a big lull in the middle there, like toward the middle end-ish area.
Yeah.
But I was laughing for a good portion of this movie. Honestly, I think this is, for me, the best comedy I've seen this year. Which is really, really sad.
Yeah, this is a lot better than Baywatch.
Oh yeah, much better. Baywatch was forgettable. Baywatch was very forgettable.
Yeah, that's true. See, Carl, I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, we will not dignify that with a response on this channel. Maybe on one of our personal channels, but not on this channel. So, I don't know. I thought it was really funny. I thought that, okay, so one of my favorite parts is, like, I always go through doors first. And they're like, oh, we need to go this way. There's 2 guys out there. And he goes out there and he kills both the guys. And then, like, 2 more guys that are running up the stairs. And he's like, man, I'm so glad you were here, or some bullshit like that. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and then the whole part where they go, it's like, okay, on the count of 3, 1, bang, bang. It's like, what? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I disrupt your plan?
I said to count to 3. Fucking ridiculous. Uh,
Dude, those two actors play so fucking well off each other.
is it just me, or has Ryan Reynolds gotten better since he's gotten to like since he knew that he was going to be uh, Deadpool?
I think he's just embraced that role in every film. Well, at least in a mild sense.
Well, I mean, at least it's not like a Will Smith, where Will Smith plays Will Smith in every movie.
Yeah, at least he plays the part.
A character.
Yeah, he plays a character.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool in every movie, basically, is what we're getting at here. It was really good. I liked it. I would definitely. I'll probably end up buying this movie, actually.
Yeah, especially with the DVD commentary, especially if it has Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson in it.
Oh God, that would be.
I want to hear that commentary.
That would be fucking hilarious.
It's kind of like listening to Tropic Thunder with Ben Stiller and Jack Black and all the people who were like the main characters of that. It's so fucking good.
Oh, that scene where he's getting drinks at the outside bar. After.
Oh yeah, it's like this is fucking. I don't care anymore. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it.
He ruined the word motherfucker. Do you know that's impossible to ruin? But he did it.
It's such a fucking good film.
I mean, it starts out that
see, that's the problem about whenever we watch a good film is because we don't have much to say because it's just a genuinely good film.
Yeah. I mean, we'll put it this way. It's not the best action film ever.
By no means.
It's not the best comedy ever. But given the lack of comedies this year, it's probably the best comedy I've seen so far this year.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, Medea's Halloween 2, I don't think that's going to touch this one.
Seeing as I'm not going to go see it because those movies do not exist to me.
That's a little bit racist saying you're never going to see a Tyler Perry movie. I mean, that's like quintessential black culture right there.
I do not recognize that as films worthy of my attention.
Coral Me Israel.
What the fuck? Nope. Sorry. There was only one part of that looked funny, but I didn't even understand the joke. When he runs up to the chainsaw guy and he says, "I changed my mind," and then he runs off and the chainsaw guy chases after him. That's the only thing that I thought was funny, and I didn't even understand the joke.
Well, they're just trying to like go against the grain of the standard movie genre and go up and beat his ass. But then as soon as he gets up there, he gets too scared and then like runs off like every other character that does.
Gotcha. Makes more sense now. Okay. So, anyways, the chase scene. Oh God, that chase scene in the canals in Amsterdam.
Oh my God, that was fucking amazing.
That was so good. I mean, the action is decent in this movie. It's not, the chase scenes aren't transporter. The fight scenes are not.
They're more quick and fast paced,
yeah,
just to get them over with.
You know, they're not Jason Bourne, and I actually mean that in a good way. Because Jason Bourne, they have all those tight shots that you really can't tell what's going on. This is more panned out a bit, but they're really quick because it's like boom, 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 shot, boom, dead. It's not like a long drawn out fight scene where somebody stabs somebody with a pen and then they jump out a window and
then they fight somebody with a newspaper.
Yeah, and then they blow up a house. Although there are a few explosions in this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
The one that didn't make any sense was why did that van blow up on the...
Because aesthetic.
We'll put it this way. This movie is a bit over the top, but it was still really good.
Sometimes you just have to go with it. So
I actually never said Transformers, Carl, so I don't know what you're talking about.
So definitely watch it.
Yeah, I would say to watch it. I'd say if you can, I mean, you may not go want to go see it in theaters, but at least rent it. It's definitely worth a watch. I mean, do you think this is an essential, hey, you must see this in theaters type of movie?
Oh, by no means, you don't have to see this in theaters ever. But I'm glad I got the chance to watch it in theaters. It was just fun for me. It's kind of like seeing Tenacious D in theaters, where it's like that'd be entertaining, but it's not necessary.
Never saw
Anyways,
it. So, what movies that are coming out are you really excited to see in the next month or two?
after a while, it all blurs together.
I know what your answer is, so I'll answer for both of us. Happy Death Day.
Oh fuck! Is that actually coming out soon?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, dude, that does look good. And then, oh well, I guess I'm kind of excited for it.
I'm more excited for it than I was.
Yeah.
Although if it's as long and drawn out as the first movie and the book, not excited about it at all.
If the pacing is well done, though, I'll be excited. I think that's all we got for today, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, unless there's anything else, any kind of announcements. Oh, I actually have an announcement. Sorry, I'm going to totally interrupt you. I am going to probably try and do a stream tomorrow on my personal secondary channel, which is probably going to eventually become my primary channel again. I'm so confused all the time. But yes, I will be doing a stream. I'm going to try and get some of my friends like Base Mama. I'm going to see if she can join up, and then maybe see if I can get Failure. I know Tanuki will be there, at least for a little bit. Try and get some people on just to talk and hang out for a bit.
And then on my personal channel, you will enjoy content that's never regular. I'm never going to put out regular content. I'm amazed I've put out as much stuff as I had recently, but it's basically people going, hey, you want to stream? Sure, let's do that. Is anybody stream? Fuck it, we'll do it on my channel. So you'll never get regular content ever.
I actually, guys, I will just pay attention to my twatter. My twatter will have all the info whenever I decide to do it. Mainly because it's hard for me to get onto. I got nothing.
You're busy. It happens.
No, it's hard for me to get onto my other YouTube channel while I'm streaming on this channel because I'd have to log out of this channel, log into that channel, and I'm currently streaming on this channel, so it's kind of a bitch.
So we got anything else?
Well, and you were talking about possibly doing some food.
Oh, no, we're not even going to talk about that because I still need to get all the equipment.
Tanuki makes food.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, thank you guys for stopping by. We will see you probably sometime this weekend. Just got to figure out what's coming out this weekend that we have to go see. I don't know if there is anything, but there might be. If not, we'll at least hop on and maybe try and get somebody on to do another one of our off-the-record episodes. So thank you guys for stopping by. Say goodbye to the people.
Bye, people.